The head of Iran's Revolutionary Guards is vowing to retaliate against the U.S. and Britain. Iran accused the two countries of backing a suicide attack that killed 6 Guard commanders. Iranian media say a Sunni Muslim group has claimed responsibility for last weekend's bombing in its southern province. 42 people were killed. The incident complicates talks between Iran and other countries over Iranian's nuclear program. Revolutionary Guards Commander-in-Chief says he has documents that link the bombing to the U.S., Britain, and Pakistan. The Sunni group believed to be responsible for the bombing says it's fighting discrimination by Iran's dominant Shiites.
American troops injured during the Iraq conflict are returning to the war zone, but not to fight. A nonprofit program called Operation Proper Exit takes wounded American veterans back to Iraq so they can receive closure. Program creator Rick Kells says Proper Exit gives veterans an opportunity to show their support.
We want to come back and let the troops here on the ground know that they are still part of them, that they support them, and they would very much like to be with them, although they can't.
Proper Exit gives soldiers a chance to go back and visit bases and even the place where they were injured. Injured soldier Edwin Salau says the program gave him a new outlook on his past.
My purpose for this trip was for my soldiers to have that last memory of me in Iraq, walking out of here on my own power. And I achieved that, and it was closure. Today I packed my stuff and I dressed in a uniform that I'm going to unpack and that I'm going to undress at home and not Walter Reed.
Proper Exit is a United Service Organization program sponsored by the U.S. Army and Troops First Foundation.
Healthcare reform bill is expected to be presented with a major question. Will it have a public insurance option? President Obama and his supporters argue that a public option will increase competition and lead to lower costs. Democrats want a government-run option to compete with private insurance companies, but Obama says he'll sign a bill even without such an option. The White House says the priority isn't the option, but the bill must be passed.
One local elementary school holds a fun affair for a beneficial cause. Here's Valley View News reporter Crystal Sims with the story.
This is the 25th annual Our Lady of Lourdes Community Fair. Our Lady of Lourdes Church and School puts on this event every year to help with fundraising.
Each year, all the parishioners get together and they volunteer at various booths or silent auction or provide entertainment. It's a community building event for the kids.
People got to enjoy music, rides, food, and much more. Children say they love coming out to this fair.
We've been running on rides, lots of rides. And throwing up snow cones.
Snow cones? What has been your favorite part of the fair?
Definitely the rides. Yeah, the rides. Hang out with our friends.
Event planners say the most rewarding part of this fair is watching the community come together to work toward one cause.
This community event was filled with fun activities for children and adults, all to support the fundraising efforts of Our Lady of Lourdes. In Northridge, I'm Crystal Sims for Valley View News.
Coming up in sports, Matador Madness and what happened in last weekend's football games.
And here's Gail Moscoso with sports.
Time to pump up those basketballs and lace those sneakers. Matador Nights on the Cal State Northridge campus gave fans an inside look at their men and women's hoopsters. Valley View's Natanya Levine was there.
Fans await to enter the Matadome to get a glimpse of their favorite players in action. People were treated to getting autographs from their favorite players, getting their face painted, decorating a bandana, and winning CSUN gear. The crowd goes nuts as the women's team and men's team enter the Matadome for the first time. The players were introduced and fans fought for t-shirts. During the women's scrimmage, the team showed off their speed and passing ability. During the men's scrimmage, a dunk by number 22, Theron Taylor, got the crowd excited. CSUN men's basketball coach Bobby Braswell said it's too early in the season for expectations.
The main thing that I want from our guys is I want us to get better every game to improve. We've got a lot of new guys, but we've got quite a few guys coming off our championship team from last year. So, we have high expectations for ourselves.
Fans were also able to purchase $1 Matadogs and CSUN accessories.
The men's and women's team is excited and hungry to begin the season. Inside the Matadome in Northridge, I'm Natanya Levine for Valley View News.
The Cal State Northridge men's soccer team has pulled off a dramatic 1-0 victory over number 3 UC Santa Barbara. Defender Robert Pate headed in a rebound for the goal. The Matadors defense limited the explosive Gaucho offense to 3 shots on goal. The victory over UCSB was the first for the Matadors since 2006. The women's soccer team had a good weekend too. The Matador ladies defeated Cal State Fullerton 1-0. Forward Nikki Connolly scored the goal on a big mistake by the Titans goalkeeper. For the Matadors, it was their 3rd straight road shutout. And get this, they won in Orange County for the first time in program history. The Cal State Northridge women's volleyball team played hard but fell short in a match against Long Beach State. The Matadors had a disastrous first set, then played it close in the final 2 sets against the 49ers. Matador outside hitter Brittany Williams led the team with 11 kills. Setter Sam Orlandi added 15 sets and 2 aces. It was a battle of the unbeatens, the New Orleans Saints taking on the New York Giants in the Superdome in what turned out to be a scoreathon. The Saints capped a 6-play, 80-yard drive with a play-action touchdown pass from Drew Brees to Jeremy Shockey to pull ahead 14-0 in the first quarter. In the second quarter, with the Saints leading 14-3, New Orleans quarterback Drew Brees went back to the air for a 36-yard strike to Robert Meacham. Giants quarterback Eli Manning tried to bring his team back with a TD pass to Manningham to bring New York within 10. But Brees once again burnt the Giants later in the game with another play-action pass, this time to Marcus Colston, put out the game out of reach. The Saints won 48-27 to stay undefeated while the Giants suffered their first loss. Minnesota Vikings and Baltimore Ravens battled to the wire in a showdown at the Metrodome. Vikings QB Brett Favre rolls out to his right and finds receiver Sidney Rice for a 58-yard gain. That sets up this Ryan Longwell 31-yard field goal with less than 2 minutes to play. Baltimore had one last chance, but Steve Hotchka's 44-yard kick went wide left. The Minnesota Vikings hung on for a 33-31 victory. The Vikings are getting used to this. They're still undefeated. The Chicago Bears and Atlanta Falcons faced off in a conference clash. The Bears had an early lead, but after that, it was all Atlanta. Matt Ryan finds Roddy White here. He breaks a tackle, and he's off to the races. He gets the touchdown to tie the game. Atlanta back in the red zone, Ryan connects with future Hall of Famer Tony Gonzalez, giving them the lead before the first half. Chicago trying to come back. Cutler finds tight end Greg Olsen for the big gain that led to a touchdown. But tied late in the fourth, Michael the Burner Turner rumbles past defenders, and he seals the deal for the Falcons, giving them the win. Former USC quarterback Mark Sanchez has been a standout player for the New York Jets. But he didn't look like it when the Jets took on the Buffalo Bills. Late in the game, the teams were tied, and with a chance to win it, Bills kicker Ryan Lindell gets it off, but it's a wide right, and we're going into overtime. Sanchez, trying to move downfield, throws a pick, his 5th of the day. That set up another Buffalo field goal, and Lindell squeaks it through to get the overtime win. The Super 6 World Boxing Classic has begun, and America's hopes were dealt a crushing blow on the first night of fights. The tournament opened with former undisputed middleweight champion Jermaine Bad Intentions Taylor taking on the undefeated King Arthur Abraham. Taylor used his reach and speed, and especially his incredible jab, to control the ring. But Abraham had a strong defense, and he was patient. He forced Taylor into deeper waters, and the end came in the final 10 seconds. A straight right on the button put Taylor on his back unconscious. That's the 4th time in 5 fights that he has been knocked out. His fighting days may be over.